What's up, YouTube? It's Bianca J, and I'm here today with a prophetic message from the Lord. And so I was coming to bring this message today. It's in reference to kingdom marriage, kingdom spouse. And so on 10/26 night, kind of like 10/27 early morning, I had this dream, and it was a girl named Tia that I went to school with. She was getting married. And so I was her best friend, and I was the maid of honor in her wedding. And so the wedding took place, and we ended up being at the reception. The reception was decorated so beautifully. I mean, it was everything in it was white, pearls and diamonds. Like it was so beautiful in there. The reception hall, how they had it decorated. She and her husband, they both looked amazing. Like she was truly stunning. And so, like I said, the reception was all white. Everything in the reception was just decked out. And so, we get to the point of in the reception where the maid of honor has to give her speech, and then the best man has to give his speech. And so after we're already we give our speech, we're ready to hit the dance floor. And so before Tia and her husband could get to the dance floor, her ex-boyfriend, which was in the dream, I'm not sure if it's her ex-boyfriend for real, but as far as this dream, her ex-boyfriend, he approached her with a gift bag. And inside of this gift bag, it was I could see a box that had Balenciaga on there. It was like some Balenciaga boots. It was a Rolex in there. It was just a YSL bag. It was like so many different designer items inside of this one bag. So the gift was for her. She didn't get the ex-boyfriend wasn't gifting them. It was like it was a sneak sabotage, right? A sneak trick of the enemy. And so she looks in the bag and she just immediately puts the bag down. And so she continue on with her husband to the dance floor. And so the music is playing and she's trying to tell me what was going on over the music. She was saying, like, can you believe him? Like, can you believe him? And so once the ex-boyfriend didn't see her like giving in to all those expensive gifts that he bought her, and from what I can see, she was used to getting those gifts from him when they were together, so he thought that he could come and bring gifts like that and like steal her away from her kingdom spouse. But she wasn't having it, and her kingdom spouse looked so unfazed with the trick that the ex-boyfriend tried to play. And so while her and her husband's on the dance floor, he goes in the bag and takes out all the items that was in the bag and leaves the bag on the gift table. That the bag was empty. It had nothing left in it, right? Because the ex-boyfriend took everything out of it. And so she was just trying, like I said, was trying to tell me over the she was trying to tell me over the music, what had just happened, and asking me, did I see that just happen? And so the DJ ended up saying, let's play a game. Let's play a game. And the game he wanted to play with, excuse me guys, I thought I was about to sneeze. The next he said, let's play a game. And so the game that the DJ wanted to play was how well do you know your bridesmaids and your groomsmen? And so all of the bridesmaids and all of the groomsmen, they lined up, and we all sat in like on this long like bench that was like kind of like against the back of a wall. And so they had these hats that had like these red lips on there. And so we had to put these hats on there, and they were going to throw like the bride and the groom would have threw the darts at the hats that was on our heads. And so it was to see how much did they trust us, right? if that dart hit if the dart hit the lips, then they knew that they were able to like trust us, like they knew us well, right? And so the darts actually ended up being like clips. They didn't, like when they threw them, they were darts, but when they actually landed on the mouth, the hat that looked like lips, it was clips instead of actual darts. And so then I remember we played that game, and so once that game was over, the bride and the groom, they ended up going back and sit down, and so the DJ wanted to, like, I guess, interact with the other guest that was there, and so he played another game. And this game that he wanted to play, it was called, what was the game called? I can't even remember the name. But anyway, it was to lay it all on a sackcloth, right? So it was a sackcloth that was laid across a table. And so different couples who were guests at the wedding, they were to take place in this game. It was basically like to lay it all on a cloth, like how well do you know your partner? And so my friend Amber, which is my best friend in real life, she comes out of the back, but her boyfriend was sitting at the table already, so he was prepared to play the game. And so when she comes out, she tells me that I was just messing with the pastor. I'm like, you was just messing with the pastor? Like, what? Like, come on now. And she was like, I was just messing with the pastor. He made me feel bad for him, and I was messing with him in the back. And I just couldn't believe that she had just said it. So I asked her, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing that? And so she gets on the table and she lays on the sackcloth. And depending on how well you know your partner was pretty much was they going to pass this test or were they going to be devoured. And so I'm knowing after what she just told me that she had fell, victim to the spirit of lust. And so I knew that the guy that she was dating was a guy that God had sent her, right? Like that was going to be her kingdom spouse. But I knew that she had just went in the back and fell for the spirit of lust. And she was going to mess up her chances with this guy, right? And so in the game, she ended up being devoured, right? Like they knew that she had went back there and did that in so many words. Like it came through with her laying on the sackcloth. And so she was devoured, and he didn't want to like be with her anymore. And so I remember looking at my phone after all of that played out, and I checked my emails, and it was an email from Tia's ex-boyfriend who had came and brought those gifts, and he had screenshot a message from 2017 that he had sent her, but Tia never responded to it even all the way back then. And so in this message, it said, what did that message say? I wrote it down. It said, hey, what's up? I miss you. And Tia never responded back to it. But the message said, hey, what's up? I miss you. And she just didn't respond. And so I guess once he found out that her wedding was taking place this day, he decided to pop up. But he had sent me that email, and I would have, had I looked at my emails beforehand, I would have knew that it was it could have been possible that he would try to show up. And so that was the end of the dream. And so I went ahead and broke this dream down, you guys. Let me get to the part of my notes where I had broken it down. No. Okay, and so for the last like 3 days since the morning that I woke up from having this dream, I was hearing Forever by R. Kelly, and it was playing like really, really loud. You know the song that goes like, hey, Miss Beloved, we are gathered here to join each other hand in hand. No more playing house, no. I want to make it real. Do you understand? So look up that song. It's called Forever by R. Kelly. And then the next 2 days, I was hearing Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge. The song go, meet me at the altar in your white dress. We ain't getting no young girl. We might as well do it. Wise girl, I must confess. Let's get married. I hope I'm singing it right, but yeah, that song and Forever were playing in my spirit for the last 3 days, so I knew I had to get on here this morning and deliver this message. So again, those 2 songs have been playing in my spirit for the last 3 days, like all day. Like all day, like waking me up out of my sleep in the middle of the night, playing in my ear loudly. So the Holy Spirit has really been nudging me to come bring this message. So here I am. And so what God is saying is that a lot of his sons and daughters, they're in their marriage seasons, right? And so there are a lot of his sons and daughters who are next up in the seasons to come, who will be entering into their wedding seasons. But first, he must heal some of you guys who will be entering into your marriage season, because some of you guys are still broken. You're battling some of the spirit of lust, like Amber was in that dream. You're struggling with letting go, and you're struggling with the healing process in the current season that you're in. So the Lord is still working on you with that to prepare you for the upcoming season that you will be entering, far as your marriage season. And so what the Lord is saying is that the enemy is trying to throw darts, right? He's trying to throw darts, but remember, it wasn't actually what it looked like. Those darts were actually clips, right? And so the clips were on the mouth, as in to keep your mouth shut about the season that you're in, far as your marriage season. Like you don't want to have spirits coming against you in the marriage season that God has you in. So keep your mouth shut, right? In other words, because remember, there were darts that were being thrown, but they turned into clips on the mouth of the hat, the lips that were on the hat. So you are to keep your mouth shut, keep it closed about your current season, your current marriage season, for those who are currently in the wedding season and for those who will be entering, because you don't want to go through even more spiritual warfare to trying to keep these unions that God has ordained to take place, right? And so, like I said, some of you guys may receive text messages or surprise gifts from the counterfeit, which in this dream it was Tia's ex, right? And God is saying that he did not send them. If he has not spoken to you that an ex from your past will be returning, or he will be restoring an ex back to you, then you know that this person was not sent by him. Only if God has been speaking to you about being restored to an ex, that will be the key for you knowing whether this person was sent by God or sent by the enemy. Okay, and so next the Lord is saying that, like I said, those darts that were being thrown at the head, were being thrown at the lips. It's the enemy throwing darts at the head of Christ, which is Jesus, right? He's trying to come against the church and the members that make up the church, right? And the members that make up the church. He said that is in order to come against the marriages that God has ordained to take place. So this is a tactic of the enemy to keep the unions from forming and taking place. And then next, the Lord is saying that some of you all are being led by the spirit of lust, like Amber in that dream. This is for some of God's children who are not yet in their marriage seasons, but it is to come in the next season or seasons, right? And so God is sending you this message as a warning for you not to subdue to the spirit of lust, for you not to give in to the enemy tactics. You are not to fall, victim to the sneaky tactics of the enemy. The enemy is coming to devour those who fall victim to his traps. So pray against it and be on alert so you don't fall victim and so that you don't walk out of the will of God. And so, as for my brothers and sisters in Christ who are in their marriage season now, you are to be on alert as well. The enemy is going to use people of your past to try and trick you out of your position. Please know, if God did not speak to you about being restored to this person from your past, then this person is not sent by God. Again, that person is not sent by God. And so that was the warning message inside of this dream for those who are currently in their wedding seasons. Do not fall victim to the counterfeit, okay? Do not fall victim to the things of this world. Like that ex the counterfeit was trying to give Tia all of those gifts that he used to give her back when they were together, to try to bribe her out of her position, to try to trick her out of try to trick her out of her place, because she was getting married and he was trying to come against that union, but it did not work. Tia didn't fold. It didn't work. And so this is the end of this word, you guys. I just wanted to be obedient and make sure that I came to bring this message this morning, because it has been really heavy on my spirit. And so again, I pray that this word reach who it is meant for. And until my next one, you guys stay focused and be blessed. And I'll see you on my next one. Bye.